si se entera tu papá y se lo dice y a tu mamá, y hermosísima cubana. Tengo una casa en La Habana destinada para ti. Ay, con el techo de marfil y el piso de plataforma para ti, blanca paloma, tengo yo la flor del lirio. Oye bien. Y el viento pone un rumor y en la manigua cubana el guacamayo en la rama se cubre de bellos plumajes. Los verdes cañaverales perfumados de rocío con sus plumeros triunfales cubren la orilla del río.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dios te salve, gitana María, candela encendía de mayo y abril. Dios te salve, divino lucero, rosal tempranero de Pitimini. Dios te salve, cosita temprana de mayo y abril, de mayo y abril, de mayo y abril. Señal que no me quiere, que no me mire, que no me hable, que no me martirice más, que por la gloria de mi madre que me la tienes que pagar. Ya sale el sol por la ermita de la ribera. Ya sale el sol por la ermita de la ribera. Y tú vas con tu jaca cascabelera. Y tú vas con tu jaca cascabelera, y en tu carro carroza yo soy la reina. Ay, gitano, yo soy mora, que mora de la morería. Y si de mí te enamoras, la alhambra yo te daría. Ay, gitano, yo soy mora, que mora de la morería. Dale.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that was powerful.
I find it so funny because it's like, you know, it's in Spanish, the words, so, you know, what you're left with is the sensation, the musicality, the rhythm. But I find it funny because I'm a guitarist and I don't understand like 70% of the letter anyway. So I'm in the same boat as...
You don't understand.
I don't understand. It's more than... Yeah, exactly that. Sometimes
I thought you understand everything in Spanish.
Sometimes it's not even that I don't understand. It's like I don't really pay attention to what she's saying unless I really try, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's true that in flamenco there are words that they are old or they are not using anymore, or it's in Calo, which is the language of the gypsies. And even Spanish people cannot understand.
Or really cultural references that would mean absolutely nothing to you. For example, there's one very clear one, right, which is in a different palo. This was bangos, right? It's in Sigria. And it's talking about a man who's deeply upset. You don't know why until the end of the line of poetry. And it says, well, I saw her hand. I recognized her by just her hand. And you're like, why is that in like a really brutal, like death poem or song? And it's because it was the time of the flu. So if you saw someone carting through the street with dead bodies and you see someone's hand hanging out, he knew that his love was dead. But the point is, if you didn't know that cultural reference, then there's no way you just think, oh, it's nice, he's talking about his love's hand, if you know what I mean. I think that happens in flamenco a lot. I think, you know, I'm definitely not from within that culture, so a lot of the time you have to really make an effort to understand actually what's being said, if you know what I mean. I think so. I think I'm saying this because if you're listening to the music and you're enjoying it but you don't understand the words, you're actually in a lot of people are in the same position. Even if they're really much even if they're performing, maybe they don't even really know what's being said, if you know what I mean.
Feel it, even though you don't understand, it's like powerful. It's sense vibration.
Yeah, because you don't understand, but you can feel because it's very strong. So. Al dos, hemos dicho. A pesar de correr malos tiempos. Ay, porque tú has llegado y tú a mi vida te has metido en mi alma calando mi hueso. Ay, ¿quién lo diría? Por robar tu beso. Le tengo envidia a la ola, ay, porque se encuentran tan lejos, ay, como yo de tu memoria. pasé por tu calle y regresé hasta mi infancia. Y en un momento sentí cosas que tenía olvidadas. El aroma de las flores, el canto de una gitana, el rincón donde nací y el filao de aquella cama. Qué pocas cosas tenía y el jardín de mi niñez, cuántas primaveras inquietas, cuántos sueños de papel. Visto en tus ojos, gitano mío que no me quiere, que te casas con otra, 40 tiros y a ti te pegue. Por eso yo tengo pena amarga, ay, 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 porque voy a perderte. Mírame que yo te miro, yo no sé lo que me pasa. Cualquier vería que cojo y te me lleva a tu casa. Ay, por tu querer, ay, tan solo por tu querer, ay, capaz soy de ir al infierno. Y hablar con el mismo rey. Desde mi ventana se divisa el mar que baña la playa de mi libertad. Hay una letanía, se oye a lo lejos, y la voz de un niño que le dice a un viejo: ¿de quién es la playa? ¿De quién es el mar? ¿De quién son las olas y de quién la sal? ¿De quién es la playa? ¿De quién es el mar? ¿De quién son las olas y de quién la sal? ¿De quién es la playa? ¿De quién es el mar? ¿De quién son las olas y de quién la sal? ¿De quién es la playa? ¿De quién es el mar? ¿De quién son las olas y de quién la sal? ¡Mira! ¡Ay!
Done.
Wow. That was beautiful. Bring flamenco back to London.
Back to London.
So, how did you guys meet? How do you guys start playing together?
But there are here a big flamenco community in London.
Really?
There are many schools, dance school, and we organize events as well, and
say
jam
we?
session.
We. You guys, and you're part of a
Yeah, we have a group of friends, but we organize also. There is one of our friends that organize events and jam session in different venues, so like more professional as well. So we are friends, but also we organize gigs, jam session.
And is that how you guys met, through a gig?
No,
I think
Josie gave me your contact.
yeah, I mean, my old flatmate, who's also a good friend when I was living in Spain.
Wow.
She knew Laura.
Yes, she's a flamenco dancer. But she's living in Spain. But she spoke me about him, that he was going to move again to London, and I was in London. So he said me, oh, my friend is guitarist, and he's gonna move again to London. So
you said move again. Where were you before then?
So I grew up in the UK, but I was living in a few different places. I was living in Scotland, then I was living in Sweden, then I moved to Spain, and now I'm coming back. Okay. So that's why she said again. I mean, she didn't know me when I lived in the UK back in the day.
And so were you living in Madrid as well?
Just Seville.
That's beautiful. And then so now what are you guys working on?
What are we working on? That's a good question.
I am tattoo artist.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my profession, but also I am getting more work singing. Step by step.
He means like, what are you working on? As in, like, what are you doing artistically together? What are you doing? Like, not literally what you're working on.
Ah, sorry.
Well, you could also say that if you want. If you want to.
So what we are doing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Explain you better.
I think it's like in flamenco, it's kind of funny, right? Because traditionally, you don't really have groups or bands. It doesn't really work like that. It's more just like people that do it, that maybe they work together, maybe they've like made a show or something, but it's not like this is the flamenco group. That's kind of a concept that doesn't exist in traditional stuff, right? So for example, me and Laura have been rehearsing, I don't know, like 6 months, 7 months, maybe like a bit like that. So like there's, certain songs which I know if she sings, I know them. She knows if she sings, I know them. So it makes sense to work together in certain cases. But flamenco, I think when it's healthy, you should be able to work with everyone. If you know what I mean. Oh.
Yes, because sometimes I have some gigs with him or with other guitarists. We exchange. We are not that close.
And then so there isn't a band, but maybe as a singer, do you feel it's easier to sing with some guitarists? And same thing as a guitarist, is it easier to play with some singers? Do you build connections or?
Yeah, of course. I think of course. Right? I don't know what you think, Lara.
Yeah.
But normally some people you work with and you're like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like it's like there's a doesn't vibe. Even if you know the same material, it's just like it's not. At the same time, some people they do one thing and you just instantly clock in. It's like having a conversation with someone, right? Some people they.
Also, if you have different levels, that can happen in flamenco, in jazz, that doesn't fit. You need a connection as well. The same level, more or less, or not very different, but also connection with the person, it's important.
And so if someone likes flamenco and they want to go see some flamenco or want to come see you guys, how can they get onto the flamenco scene in London?
You want to look up, for example, the page Fin de Fiesta, FIN space DE space FIESTA, like the end of the party. Well, it's like a joke. It's like at the end, what we actually did is called bulerías, right? It's like a palo, which is a kind of style, which you often play in parties. It normally happens at the end of the concert, just to like finish it off, right? So that's why it's called Fin de Fiesta, as a kind of joke to that. That's the person actually Laura was speaking about. She's called Irene, and she does a lot of organisation of different events. It could be more formal shows, jams, that sort of thing. So there's definitely like a movement that goes around. You could also, if you want to see like big proper artists, go to Sadler's Wells, and they're having certain times of year they have big artists come in like Israel Fernandez.
Yeah, every year the Flamenco Festival in London is in Sadler's Well, and it's like in June or July. I don't know, but
Coming up.
yeah, the most important artists from Spain. They
That's more
come.
the theatre stuff, right? Like obviously that's going to be amazing. Whatever you see there is going to be world class. But if you want it more, as like a more of like a, how do you say, people on smaller stages, smaller theatres and bars, that is happening all the time, actually. You just have to know where to look, which is, I would recommend following that page that I've suggested on Instagram, for example, and that will give you a good plug-in.
And then are you guys thinking about releasing any music, recording? You guys are doing gigs?
Maybe we can record our first album. No, we are just starting, practicing, doing some concert, step by step. Yeah.
Building your craft.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's I suppose, quote unquote traditional style of music. There's a big hurdle. It's not even a hurdle, right? But it's like interpreting traditional forms at first. Before releasing your own, you have to really kind of understand the basis, and then you can maybe record your and then add to something. I don't know if you're familiar with North Indian classical music. It's kind of a similar thing, right? People, how long it takes to just learn the repertoire. Years and years and years of just understanding the mechanics, and then maybe you can contribute something later. But I think it's not like like pop music. I suppose when you're encouraged to like get out records.
It's not the same.
I mean, obviously you can, I think, but to have a kind of an impact, if you were going to do it like a flamenco genre, I think that comes with a lot of steps.
And you mentioned you were writing a dissertation and studying something about flamenco.
Yeah.
What are you studying?
SOAS representing, right? I'm studying, obviously, ethnomusicology here at SOAS. And I'm taking this opportunity to go back to where I was studying in Spain, in Seville. I'm doing ethnographic research with some of the masters. They're talking about the concept of mastery. So I suppose inspired with studying different musical cultures of the globe, seeing how they speak about what mastery is, what it means for the person, what sort of human being are they, looking at the human in development, I would say, so I suppose trying to apply that to a flamenco context and asking those sorts of questions.
Who would you consider to be the flamenco masters?
The flamenco masters. That's a funny one. It's a difficult, because what I'm realizing, and it's not necessarily about your technique, but it's not like you have to have bad technique. It's more about, I think, someone's maturity and emotional capacity when interpreting this music. I don't know what Laura thinks, but I think, for example, one of my teachers called Salvador Guitarist is an absolutely incredible accompanist and musician first, but his kind of like principal act is accompanying dance and singing, and he's very humble. He's one of the most humble people you've ever met. Doesn't need to put himself first, very not assuming, would just sit and have a coffee with you, have a beer, whatever. But then he's got all the kind of A-listers that are like giving him phone calls, saying, we're going to perform in the Grand Theatre, blah, blah. I think for me, like that's a master, someone who has that capacity, but doesn't necessarily need to flaunt it, if you know what I mean? Someone who's mature in their internal life. I don't know. I'm not saying it because many masters have massive ego as well. So I'm not saying that's a prerequisite, but I think that's my favorite type of like.
But there is a point to say that if you know yourself to be true at something, you don't have to convince other people, really.
Yeah, that's the idea. That's what you kind of want to think. Yeah. But I think a lot of the flamenco community put that on their head. I don't know. There's a lot of idiots.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Laura?
There are a lot of ego
in
flamenco
right?
world. Yeah, it's true. It's not only flamenco.
It's true. But it's being dramatic. We say flamenco's the most. Of course, it's in everything.
But there are a lot of ego. Yeah, there.
Laura, what do you think who are the flamenco masters?
For me, I have many idols as a dancer, as a singer, as a guitarist. I like many people. So I have many.
Names pop out to you?
For singing, for example, My favorite is Maite Martin. Argentina as well. Arcángel. Miguel Poveda. I like many, because they are all different, and I like different things of each, But yeah, if I have to choose one, Maite Martin for me is the most complete, because she can sing flamenco but other styles totally different and doesn't sound flamenco. You put the rest, a singer flamenco singing other style and
That's
gonna
true.
sound flamenco. But Maite Martin is the best in it.
She's incredible. She's incredible.
Guys, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.